We are live.
Hey guys, thank you for joining us. It's Real Estate with Ryan. Super excited. We're in our studio here, and we're about to go live in a few minutes to record our show. So thank you for tuning in. We'll give you a few minutes to get in. Got a good show for you. We're talking about all kinds of different things we got in the studio. So we're new in the studio. We got a little things to work out, but we're super excited. Our staff has been working really, really hard to pull this off. A lot of work. You think selling real estate, you just have a studio. That's a lot of work. You wouldn't be amazed with how much goes in behind the scenes and to put this off. But we want a better experience for you guys and really more convenience for us and kind of being able to control our brand and things that we're doing. We've got a good show for you. We'll go over some update news, real estate news that's important to the Knoxville market. And then we're going to talk about some topics that I think, whether you're in real estate or not, it may relate to your trade. So give us a few moments, and we'll be live. April's not with me. She's working. So I got a spot for her. So first day in the studio, I guess I've got to do it. But me and my partner, Daniel, in here, we're going to make it happen. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, make sure you like our page, subscribe to our page as well. We've got some giveaways coming up here in the next 30 to 60 days, so you definitely want to be plugged in on that. Thank you guys for joining Real Estate with Ryan. I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. Hope you're doing well. Now my cohort, my partner in crime, she's not with me today, so she's out working, believe it or not. It's been that kind of crazy December, so I'm in our studio all alone by ourselves, so I'm excited to bring you this show, Real Estate with Ryan. We've been working on our studio very, very rapidly over the last couple weeks, and my staff and Daniel here has really been great. And we're excited to bring that to you. So you guys listening to us on social media, thank you for following us. Thank you guys for listening to us online and on the radio. So got a good show for you. Let's go over some housekeeping issues and what we've got going on in the market. It's been a big, busy November and December. Thank you guys for tuning in to Real Estate with Ryan. My name is Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty, and I'm super excited to be with you on a Saturday talking about real estate, anything and everything real estate. If you guys don't know me, I'm the broker owner of Hometown Realty, and my wife, my lovely wife, couldn't be here today. She's the co-host, and she's out working, so she's super excited to help some families. We've been very, very blessed and very, very busy as we approach the holidays and now approaching Christmas. So our staff has been working really, really hard to push our in-year goals and push for 2019. So we've been very busy helping a lot of families. And so that's why April couldn't be here today. But I'm super excited to be with you. And we've got a good show for you. I've always got some housekeeping issues. Wanted to let you know, you guys that are streaming online, if you guys are watching us on Facebook, Instagram, thank you guys so much. Make sure you like our page, subscribe to our page if you guys are out there, and share it to a friend. Show me some love. If you guys know anybody that needs help buying or selling real estate, we love your referrals. We'll take good care of them, and we really appreciate that. Everybody that watches us, we thank you so much. We don't take it for granted, so thank you for tuning in. So we've been very busy. We talked about some clients that went under contract. Just yesterday, Butternut, we sold it again for the second time, so that went under contract. Super excited for them. Pearl Valley just went under contract. Very excited for them as well. Alert, we got a property that's in Deer Valley in Knoxville in the Carnes area, almost 9 acres, almost 9,000 square feet, is a beautiful custom-built home. It's priced at $949,000, $950,000. It's an absolute must-see, tremendous space. All the finishes are first class. The owners are downsizing, guys, and it's a must-sell because it's a maximum value. We recently reduced that not long ago. It was well above $1 million, so it's priced below market value. That one won't last long, so keep an eye out that. Also have a new listing in Riversound, Thimblefields Drive, $989,900 that came on the market. We talked about our clients, great clients out there in South Knoxville and Martin Mill Pike. We've got a new price on that at $669,950. Don't forget this featured custom built by Lifestyle Construction on Winter Sun Lane. No carpet throughout, hardwood throughout, every custom feature you would want. Great lot, West Knoxville at $669,000. And you can check these properties out. We're going quickly. You can visit me at ryancoleman.org. Our new one in Creekwood Court is an awesome listing. Miller's Landing subdivision, full basement, staged great, and really shows well. That's a must at $515,000. And we had so much else going on, and so much there. I won't touch everybody. Let's see if there's anybody else that we missed. I'm sure there is, but those are the highlights that we have going on. I want to get into this show. Last week we didn't make it, and I want to jam-pack everything here in this show and make sure I give you as much value what's going on. If you guys are ready for Christmas and the holidays, we are as well, but we're trying to close it out in a strong fashion. We're only 5 or 6 sales away from our goal, so we're really pushing hard to help these families close out the end of the year. I know you in April, if you're listening to us or following us, or maybe you're tuning in for the first time, that this show, obviously, we talk about the last 2 months of the year and how strong it is and what an opportunity we have for sellers and for buyers. We just sold a property, one of our great clients on Westland Lakes, and it was a corporate relocation. They're coming in the year and being on the market. And so many of our clients, I know you hear me talking about this, but I wanted to talk about it again. And it's being on the market, kind of getting a jump before the first of the year in the spring market. If we weren't on the market during that time, we may have lost an opportunity for the buyer. I know the holidays are coming, but that will be over and done before we know it. So keep that in mind. Having your home on the market now means less competition and an opportunity to maybe snag that buyer before everybody and their brother starts the first part of the year. That is so important. I've got some real estate news that I want to share with you, and we'll talk about 2 important topics. You may have known about our big lender, Wells Fargo. Now, they've been in the news some time ago, but I saw this again briefly, and I wasn't sure if I shared it with you. I don't think we've talked about it, so I wanted to go over it. Wells Fargo accidentally foreclosed on hundreds of homeowners. This was back at the end of the summer. If you guys were getting kids back to school, I'm sure you heard about it. I don't know if we've talked about it, but it was replaying here in the studio, and I thought I wanted to relay that and just how unfortunate that situation is and came up. So back in August, Wells Fargo, 400 people that were clients or customers of Wells Fargo lost their home, and they were in the process of doing a loan modification, okay? And it was denied. So the bank apologized and set $8 million to compensate those affected, which occurred between 2010 and 2015. So if you're familiar with a short sale or doing a loan modification during the changing of the market the last 5 to 7 years, the government had those in effect that you could lower payments, reduce payments to kind of help you if homeowners were having issues. Well, apparently during that process, there was a glitch in the computer system of Wells Fargo. Now, if you guys don't understand, Wells Fargo is one of the biggest servicers in the U.S. They have $95 billion in mortgages in 17, so pretty large. So I know if you had your mortgage at some point and you may have got it with SunTrust, and all of a sudden you get a letter in the mail and it says, hey, your loan's now serviced by Wells Fargo. That's what that means. And that opportunity for that is where this issue has come in. So the calculators were miscalculating the loan debt ratio on what they take to actually approve that modification. That would have helped a lot of homeowners. You also know about our friend Wells Fargo. The bank was set up trying to make banking goals at a 3.5 million phantom accounts that without customers' knowledge. So you know they were in the news for that as well. They've also had to agree to pay $185 million in penalties and $5 million to customers in that case, that over 5,300 people were reached. As of date, that's one of the biggest settlements that are out there, and they were talking about that. At the end of that conversation, what was important was the clients, all they got was a letter, an apology, and a lot of guys lost their home due to that glitch. Really unfortunate. What you really want to make sure you're doing, if you have an issue with that, if you're doing a modification, if you're doing a short sale or anything like that, reach out to our office. We have direct ties with Wells Fargo and other big banks that are out there that we've worked on a past basis, that we can step in and kind of help you, because a short sale or a modification can be a very, very time-consuming process, and it's very where you're passed off from one person to the next person. It can be very frustrating, and especially if you're having financial difficulties. If there's anything our office can do to get involved, to be a liaison and kind of be that third party involved with you and help you with that short sale or modification, we want to step in and be involved. What else is in the news? So our friend Zillow, that big media giant, this is a good one. So if you know who Zillow is, they're a third-party syndicator, and where they basically are an internet company that take listings like Realtor.com, Homes.com, and a bunch of other different sites out there, and they syndicate them throughout the whole U.S. So if you're looking for a home, you go to Zillow when there's multiple listings on there, and you may have pulled up the listing page, and you'll pull up the listing, and they usually have 3 or 4 listings on the side there. Now, the people on the side are usually people that are buying ad space. Some of the frustration that our clients see is that they call those agents and they know nothing about the property. But Zillow, back in the Las Vegas market, recently cut their feed to Zillow and ListHub. Yeah, the local MLS decided that not only were they not representing their clients' interests best, but they were actually working against a lot of the agents. And there's a big discussion across the country that a lot of the multiple listings are looking at that. And so they actually decided to cut their feed. So really the whole Las Vegas market was stopped syndicating to that process. And now that caused some confusion, that caused some complaints, that caused some issues not only in the local market, but some of the agents that were coming up, they had some real issues with that. Real fact that it actually caused a backlash regarding that. And so the MLS, they decided to reactivate that MLS feed until that comes in. Now, we're approaching the break here in a few minutes, but I wanted to tell you about that and how that was important. Our biggest fuss with Zillow is that when they display the listing, they've got these things called Zestimates, and usually doesn't reflect your property's value. The information is not correct. Buyers show where maybe you bought the property. I know if you guys are selling your property and have been out there, the frustration that we deal with Zillow. Consistently they have the wrong pictures and things. So there's a lot of frustration, and I think you may see this across the board as we're coming on the break. More about this coming up. We're coming on a break. Real Estate with Ryan. Stay with us here the next few moments, and we've got a jam-packed show on the second half. See you here in a minute.
When it comes to the real estate market, turn to the experts that focus on you. With over 20 years experience, Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty knows what it takes. It's the right marketing. It's the right exposure. Ryan and April will use their expertise each step as they guide you through the home buying and selling process. Ultimately, it's about results.
You need someone you can trust that is committed to you.
You have a lot of choices, but the choice is simple. It's Hometown Realty.
Is it time for a new place? Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty has the experience to sell your home quickly and help you find the right home for you. And if he can't sell it right away, he will buy it himself. Life changes, and sometimes your home needs do too. Buying or selling, turn to someone you know you can trust. Ryan Coleman at Hometown Realty.
Well, thank you guys for staying in Real Estate with Ryan. As I was chatting on the other side of the break, we were talking about our friend Zillow. And, what I think about that is, and what you'll see across the board, and maybe here in our local MLS, sellers want the right representation. I think one of the biggest things that people are not talking about with Zillow is not that they're, using Joe's listing at ABC Real Estate and then selling that to Sally at Banana Real Estate and then buying them ad space. That's one thing, right? But if we're representing our client and we're marketing the property for the most amount of money, and that's what we're doing as agents and brokers, and Zillow has constantly wrong information, wrong data, and all these things that come into play, wrong pictures, wrong descriptions, then it really is not doing us a service. Especially in our business, I think one of the biggest things that nobody really talks about is the inaccurate Zestimate information. I know if we ever put anything online as licensees that said the wrong value or indicated that the value was less than we listed, we'd be in real big problems. We couldn't do it. And that issue with Zillow is that they're advertising properties with a suggested list price for lower because they don't have the right information. This all boils down to, guys, if you're looking to sell a home, you're going to start the process online, you're going to do some shopping, but you're going to hire a great agent. We always say, look, if you're looking for an expert in the market, you can't afford to gamble on one of the biggest moves that you're going to make. You're going to need an expert in your corner. We have the ability to go directly to properties that are on the market and off the market properties to give them to you immediately before Zillow ever picks them up and give you accurate information. And then especially marketing your property to the masses and get the right eyeballs looking on it. So those are things I would say about our friend Zillow. But I do think across the real estate board and MLSs across the U.S., you're going to see different brokerages across the countries maybe change their philosophy, and some boards may or may not actually keep those Zillow feeds. Something to watch out for. I thought it was good. So we've got a good show for you guys. I think it's pretty awesome. We're talking about professionalism, tips for being the best on your job. Now, why do we do that? Well, I said this could fit your feed or your field, whether you're in real estate, whether you're in sales, whether you're in the nursing industry. We're just talking about being professional, being an expert, and what it takes to be in the business. I'll relate it some to real estate, but you can use it a little bit across the board. Most important, when you're working with a client or an agent or a colleague, it's important to keep respect. Now, sometimes in real estate, well, a lot of times in real estate, we know it can be a very stressful process, and tempers can flare. If you're in the medical field, like my wife for years, it can be very, very frustrating with patient care, understaffed, long hours working and just stressed out. But you have to understand we can't take it out on other colleagues, on the other agent. We have to keep our cool. You have to be in stealth mode and really know what we're doing and kind of block out a lot of the noise and really treat each other, understand that, when I was young and I went waiting tables, and my marketing director is kind of funny, Brooke, she waited tables early on when we were in college, and she said, well, when we got busy, it'd be in the weeds. We call it in the weeds. Well, we all get in the weeds in our job, right? And when you're in that stressful moment, it's so important that you watch that and don't take that aggression or frustration out on the next. I think number 2, communicate effectively, right? So many times we're catching pressure from the seller, the buyer, the home inspector. Let's make sure we're communicating clearly. Take a few moments. I know we use text and we use email and all these different types of form of communication, but sometimes the best communication is to sit down face to face on a big move and talk to each other. Turn your phone off, turn the text off, and let's communicate. Being proactive, number 3, is very, very important. In a situation, we work with a lot of our clients on the market and selling. We've been there a time or two, been doing it 20 years. We understand the process. And so we know that there's certain checklists that we're going to have to go about and do. And if we operate our checklist and being proactive, we prevent a lot of problems. The problem is if we're always reactive in the business and we're always chasing and waiting for something to happen, then it can become an issue. So be proactive in what you do. Don't get flustered. Be on top of your paperwork. Be proactive with the clients and letting them know exactly what's going on or whatever field that you're in. Communication is key. In our industry, 72% of people are dissatisfied with their agent's performance. Why do you think? Communication. They're not keeping them in the loop. They're not letting them know in the process that they're packing up their house and they're moving to Texas, and their agent can't get them to call it back. Believe it or not, won't answer the phone. We were working a deal with a guy, and I won't mention any names, and the guy just cuts the phone off at a certain time and will not answer the phone. And this is a fairly large deal, and it makes you think, communication's everything from keeping both sides in the loop. And I understand and respect the time frame of everybody, and you have to have personal time. But sometimes we get in this business, you got to understand you're in a sales business, and you're working with the clients that demand and respect, and quite honestly so, right? That you can communicate in a timely basis. Now, the other end, our business seems like it never stops. And so clients will call you all the time, all the hours. And I understand that, and you got to respect that. But with part of the job comes the opportunity that you have to communicate on both sides, guys. This is a big one. We talk about dressing for success, whether you're meeting your client for the first time. We're doing this studio live. We try to make it the best we can, have the best representation of our product. I know my marketing team is always working on our first impression is everything, right? You only got one time to make your first impression, or it could be your last. And that's truthfully where you meet in person or not. Dressing for success is everything in sales, in business, in life. And I was talking to somebody the other day in my office about that and the process that goes involved. Listen, I don't wear a suit. I don't wear a dress coat. I don't dress up for me. I dress up for the respect of my client across. I understand that when they come out to call me to sell their home or work to one of the biggest investments they're going to make, it's all about representation. I'm not wearing hats, and I'm not, not going out there looking professional in my jeans. It just does not set the mindset that they're dealing with an expert. So I know it's easy to go out casual, but take a few moments, especially in the first presentation, first meeting, to make sure that you're coming off as a professional. Now, number 5, everybody complains. We do it. I do it all the time. Trust me, my staff hears me all the time. So we complain, but we have to keep in mind that someone complains all the time, they're not a problem solver. And when we're working with our clients, make sure you're not complaining. Make sure that you're working with our clients. If they are complaining, those are issues that they're at rest. They're not feeling easy about it, that there's some uncertainty there that we need to address, right? So make sure that you're taking the time with them and explaining the process. I had a client of mine just call a little while ago, and she literally said, well, Ryan, I don't know if you remember me. And I said, you're my client. She said, well, I know you deal with so many different people, and I know in my business, I don't remember everybody. Trust me, everybody that's our client, we know everybody, we know them personally, we know their situation. And so I think that's important to have that one-on-one relationship. But understand that this is the first time they've sold a home. So not always we take it for granted in our trade or what we're coming up with and goes in. And so just take in mind that process, not everybody's in the loop, and make sure we educate them and walk them through the process. Keep learning. And number 7, you can never constantly keep growing. Number 8, this is big, right? We're always on our phone. We're texting, all that good stuff. Put your phone down. Communicate with people. People want to talk to people. They want to communicate. I call it old school, but look them face to face or talk to them on the phone. It means the world. It means everything. And it will make your sales or professionalism be a whole lot better. I hope you guys have enjoyed Real Estate with Ryan, broadcasting in my studio. Make sure you follow us on social media. It's the easiest number in real estate, and we're always here to help you. It's 693-7653, 693-SOLD, or you can visit me at Ryan Coleman. Till next week, we hope to see you next week. Have a great one.